The apocalypse was only days away anyway. Nobody would be collecting later. In just one afternoon, the house sold for $6 million, and I cashed out another $5 million by mortgaging company shares. Then I maxed out online loans and credit cards for another $2 million. My liquid cash had already hit an insane $16 million, and the loan shark money would hit tomorrow, at least another $3 million. Looking at the numbers in my bank account, I didn't feel excited at all. All I felt was pressure. Money is just paper, supplies are life. I walked out the door, got into the off-road vehicle I hadn't sold yet, and drove straight to an abandoned old logistics park in the western suburbs. It used to be the city's biggest cold storage base. Remote location, wide open terrain, easy to defend. Most importantly, it had a huge underground freezer. With a little remodeling, it would make the perfect shelter. The place was overgrown with weeds. I found the old caretaker, tossed him a handful of gold, and said I wanted to rent it. I told him it was for a 2-week horror escape room. No contract, no paperwork. I just wanted the keys. The old man smiled so hard his dentures almost fell out, then handed me the keys without another word, and rode his tricycle home. I walked into that massive underground cold storage room. It was about 3,000 square meters with an 8-meter ceiling. System scanning current space. Scan complete. Activate spatial anchor. After anchoring, this space will serve as a material transfer station in the real world. External supplies can be sent here directly by thought. With the location secured, it was time to fill it up. I didn't rush to the supermarket like people do in those other apocalypse novels. That's amateur stuff. I drove straight to the biggest agricultural wholesale market in the city. I walked into the largest grain and oil wholesaler there. The owner was smoking while doing the books. He barely looked up when I came in. "What do you need?" "Rice," I said, scanning the mountain of bags. "How much per ton for your best Wuchang rice?" "How much do you want?" "How much do you have in stock?" "I've got 50 tons of Wuchang rice in the warehouse, 100 tons of regular Northeast rice, and 80 tons of flour." "What is this, a bulk order for some big cafeteria?" I pulled out a black card and slapped it on his greasy desk. "Not just that. Cooking oil, noodles, grains, I want every bit of inventory in your store. On top of that, within 3 days, I want you to get me another 500 tons of rice and 300 tons of flour. Fresh stock only. No old grain." "Brother, that's over 10 million worth of goods. You serious?" "I've got one condition. Deliver everything to the warehouse I specify. Once it's unloaded, your people leave immediately. No questions." The owner got so excited his face turned red. Business had been terrible lately, and an order like this was basically money falling from the sky. "I'll get the trucks loaded right now." Over the next 3 hours, the whole market went wild. Fruit, meat, daily necessities, I bought out everything. Night fell, and the first heavy trucks loaded with grain and oil rumbled into the abandoned factory in the western suburbs. The huge cold storage was piled high with mountain-like stacks of supplies. I walked up to the 5-meter-tall mound of rice, raised my hand, pressed my palm against the bags, and said, "Store." The 50 tons of rice in front of me vanished into thin air. I closed my eyes and let my mind sink into the system space. In that infinite white dimension, the 50 tons of rice floated there silently. It kept the exact same stacked shape as before, perfectly still. Time doesn't move in here. Whatever goes in comes out exactly the same. Man, this is awesome. That feeling of taking everything into your grasp and controlling it all was insanely addictive. But in the apocalypse, food isn't the only thing that matters. Heat matters even more, especially in minus 60-degree cold. Without a heat source, all this food would turn into frozen bricks, and I'd end up an ice sculpture too. I called a friend in the coal business. "Old Ghost, I need coal. Smokeless coal, top quality, 10,000 tons. I also need industrial diesel generators and solar panels, enough to cover the whole roof of the plant." I wasn't just going to stock this cold storage with enough food to last 10 lifetimes. I was going to turn it into a temperature-controlled fortress that not even a nuclear blast could break open.